How unique are Latter-day Saint teachings about heavenly and earthly families?
That's a great question, because there's a lot of overlap between what other people believe and what we believe, but there is a lot of uniqueness here, right? In the Doctrine and Covenants, it told us these are things that are going to be revealed that weren't necessarily known all the way from the foundation of the world. So for a lot of Christians, for example, there's this image of God as our Father. But when you get into kind of the theological fine print, God created us, right? We're the workmanship of his hands, and he's like a father to us, right? It's a symbol or a metaphor. For Latter-day Saints, their understanding came to be that no, we have a Father in heaven, we have a mother in heaven, we're their spirit children. And so that all those images, when God asked us to pray to him as a father, he meant it. It's because we're the same kind of being, right? Mm-hmm. About earthly families, a lot of people, when they think about resurrection, imagine reunion, right? And being together with loved ones. And that's true whether they're religious or not, frankly, right? The human heart knows that when those separations come, they don't feel like an end. And so I think it's very natural. A lot of people believe that they'll see their families again. But in the history of theology, right, a lot of times people have thought about family as just one of many things that exists on earth and sort of imagined people transcending it, right? How do you focus on Christ over your family? How do you choose Christ first? A lot of times you would not see people saying that heaven is going to be about family.
So what did it feel like for the early saints to learn about these new doctrines and teachings?
It blew their minds, but typically in a really good way. I love a quote I brought with me today from Parley P. Pratt, where he remembers learning about this, and he'd been a member of the church for years, and his wife, who he loved, had died. He says, I had learned to esteem kindred affections and sympathies as appertaining solely to this transitory state.
This earth life.
This earth life, as something from which the heart must be entirely weaned. So the same way that a baby grows out of its mother's milk, he thought, okay, we're going to move on from this, right? As something from which the heart must be entirely weaned in order to be fitted for its heavenly state. It was Joseph Smith who taught me how to prize the endearing relationships of father and mother, husband of wife, of brother and sister, son and daughter. I had loved before, but I knew not why. But now I loved with a pureness, an intensity of elevated, exalted feeling which would lift my soul from the transitory things of this groveling sphere and expand it as the ocean. I felt that God was my heavenly Father indeed, that Jesus was my brother, and that the wife of my bosom was an immortal, eternal companion.